What if I told you the real secret to staying strong and energized after 60 has been hiding in your pantry this whole time, and it costs less than $2? Sounds unbelievable, right? But what if everything you thought you knew about protein, especially how it helps you stay independent and healthy as you age, was completely wrong? No, you don't need expensive powders or complicated diets. In fact, what you need might be one of the simplest, most affordable foods on the planet. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll discover how one humble food can help rebuild your muscles, supercharge your energy, and save you hundreds of dollars a year. This isn't just another internet trend. We're talking about real science that's flipping the nutrition world upside down, and I'll show you exactly how to take advantage of it starting today. So, what is this miracle food? Beans. Yes, beans. The same ones you probably walk past in the grocery store without a second thought. But hold on, because what I'm about to share might blow your mind. According to new research from leading universities, beans can help adults over 60 build and maintain muscle just as effectively as those pricey protein powders. That's right, this everyday food often overlooked can do the heavy lifting for your health at a fraction of the cost. See, the secret isn't just where the protein comes from, it's about understanding what your body truly needs as it ages. And once you know how to use plant protein properly, you unlock something powerful. Most people picture a steak or a chicken breast when they think of protein. But here's the twist. Soybeans have more protein per cup than a piece of chicken. One cooked cup of soybeans packs in a whopping 31 grams of complete protein. That's more than what you'd get from 4 ounces of chicken breast. And it doesn't stop there. Lentils come close behind with 18 grams per cup. Then there are the everyday champions, black beans, kidney beans, and chickpeas, each giving you around 15 grams of protein in just 1 cup. These aren't just dry numbers. They represent real fuel for your body, real strength for your muscles, and real support for your independence. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Aren't plant proteins incomplete? Haven't we always been told that meat is superior? Here's the truth. While beans are slightly lower in an amino acid called methionine, they're rich in another crucial one, lysine. And here's the beautiful part, grains like rice are the opposite. They're high in methionine and lower in lysine. When you eat them together, they form a complete protein that's just as good, if not better, than meat. And this isn't just theory, it's ancient wisdom. Cultures around the world have been combining these foods for centuries: rice and beans in Latin America, lentils and rice in India, hummus and pita in the Middle East. These traditions weren't random, they were rooted in understanding the body's needs long before modern science caught up. But here's where it gets even more powerful for those of us over 60. Beans don't just offer protein. Every single cup is like a natural multivitamin, slower needs as we grow older. In other words, beans are not just filling, they're fueling your body in exactly the way it needs. Let's break this down in real simple terms. 1 single cup of black beans gives you up to 15 grams of fiber. That's not just good for your digestion, it's like giving your gut a daily tune-up. That fiber feeds the good bacteria in your intestines, which helps calm inflammation across your entire body. Chronic inflammation is one of the silent reasons why we feel tired, stiff, and weak as we age. But beans help fight that naturally. Now let's talk about magnesium, something most people don't even realize they're missing. Just 1 cup of beans gives you nearly half of your daily needs. Magnesium is like the spark plug for your muscles. Without enough of it, your muscles can't contract properly, which leads to weakness, cramps, and even more muscle loss over time. And there's more. Beans are packed with B vitamins, especially folate, which plays a critical role in how your body breaks down and uses protein. As we age, that process slows down, but folate helps keep it running smoothly. 1 cup of black beans alone provides about 70% of your daily folate. That's powerful. But what really puts beans in a league of their own are their antioxidants. These tiny compounds, especially a group called anthocyanins, fight something called oxidative stress. It's what slowly wears down our cells, including muscle tissue. Beans help block that damage, which means you recover faster, feel better, and stay stronger. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but aren't plant proteins harder to digest? And yes, it's true, plant proteins are generally about 70 to 90% digestible, while animal proteins score a bit higher. But here's the trick, simple preparation changes everything. Soaking beans overnight and using a pressure cooker can remove up to 90% of the compounds that interfere with digestion. That means when you cook them right, your body can absorb the nutrients just as well, sometimes even better than from meat. And now comes the part most people, including doctors, often overlook. Once you hit 50, your body starts losing muscle mass, slowly at first, maybe 0.5% to 1.2% every year. This is called sarcopenia. It's not just about looking toned, it's about independence. It's the reason why stairs feel steeper, chairs seem lower, and everyday tasks become exhausting. Every bit of muscle lost takes a toll on your freedom. And here's the hopeful part, you can stop this and even reverse it. The key lies in two things, nutrition and resistance exercise. And this is where modern science meets real life. Researchers now understand a process called anabolic resistance. It means as we age, our muscles need more protein to respond the same way they did when we were younger. A 30-year-old might need 20 grams of protein to build muscle after a meal, but someone over 60 needs 30 to 40 grams for the same effect. And here's a detail that really matters. There's an amino acid called leucine. It's like the ignition switch for muscle growth. Younger adults only need about 1 gram of leucine to flip that switch. But people over 60, we need 2 to 2.5 grams. And guess what? Beans, when eaten in the right amounts, can absolutely provide that, especially when you eat enough total protein. Yes, they contain slightly less leucine than meat or whey protein, but when you increase your plant protein intake and space it properly across meals, you overcome that gap entirely. Let's make it real. If you weigh around 154 pounds, that's about 70 kilograms, you should aim for 84 to 112 grams of protein per day for optimal muscle support. Sounds like a lot? It's not. Once you start making beans the heart of your meals, they're affordable, nourishing, and powerful. And here's a final gem from recent studies. Older adults digest and use protein over a longer window, 3 to 6 hours after eating, compared to just 1 to 2 hours for younger folks. Beans digest slowly, releasing amino acids gradually, which perfectly matches that extended window. In a way, beans were made for the aging body. But we're not done yet, because the real power of beans goes beyond muscles. They're one of the easiest superfoods to add to your daily meals without even noticing. But beyond their convenience and taste, lentils have been quietly proving themselves as a true ally for aging muscles. Their unique mix of fiber, iron, folate, and protein makes them a full-body support system in a single bowl. Especially for older adults who struggle to hit their daily protein goals, lentils can be the gentle but powerful solution. Now let's come back to that groundbreaking 2023 review for a second, because what it revealed is reshaping everything scientists thought they knew about aging, strength, and diet. Across 13 clinical trials and over 800 seniors, researchers found that plant proteins, when consumed in the right amounts and paired with even light physical activity, consistently supported muscle growth. Not just maintained it, not just slowed the decline, they built new muscle, and the real jaw-dropper. These gains were comparable, and in some cases superior, to what's typically observed with animal proteins. That means soybeans, lentils, and even humble mung beans could be just as powerful as steak or eggs when it comes to supporting your body as it ages. That's a radical shift from what most people have been told their entire lives. Take the study on mung bean protein. This one blew me away. 37 older adults, not hitting the gym, just going about their regular routines, consumed 18 grams of mung bean protein daily. After just 8 weeks, nearly half of them gained more than a full pound of lean muscle. Meanwhile, the control group barely moved the needle. Even more astonishing, their grip strength, one of the strongest indicators of overall health in older adults, increased by 3%, while the control group actually lost strength. That kind of progress without a gym or trainer. It's practically unheard of, and it doesn't stop there. In long-term care settings where people are typically frail, immobile, and facing rapid muscle decline, similar transformations have taken place. In one study, 84 seniors with an average age of 85 were given 30 grams of soy protein daily. Within just 12 weeks, they gained more than 3 pounds of lean muscle, including nearly 2 pounds of appendicular muscle mass, the kind found in your arms and legs that keeps you walking, climbing stairs, and living independently. Their walking speed improved, their strength improved, their quality of life improved. Meanwhile, the control group, those not getting the extra soy protein, continued to decline. But maybe the most shocking of all was the massive Chinese study involving almost 5,000 seniors. Those who consumed the most plant protein had the highest muscle mass. And here's the twist. Animal protein showed zero connection to muscle maintenance. Zero. It was the plant protein that made the difference. That finding flips everything on its head. It challenges the decades-old belief that meat is king when it comes to staying strong. Now, not all beans are created equal. If you're serious about building strength after 60, you'll want to focus on the true champions. And standing at the top of that list are soybeans. With 31 grams of complete protein per cooked cup, soybeans offer the most muscle-building power of any plant source. And yes, they include all 9 essential amino acids. Think of them as the plant-based steak of the bean world. You might not realize it, but you've probably seen soybeans before in their green young form edamame. You'll find them in the freezer aisle, usually in their pods. They're ridiculously easy to prepare. Steam for a few minutes, sprinkle a little sea salt, and boom, you've got yourself a delicious protein-packed snack that fits right into your daily muscle-fueling routine. Coming in at a close second are lentils. With nearly 18 grams of protein per cooked cup, lentils are fast, flexible, and easy to digest. No soaking required, just boil and serve in under half an hour. And for those with dental issues or sensitive digestion, red lentils are a dream. They soften into a creamy texture, perfect for soups and stews. Their mild flavor blends into any dish, meaning you can sneak more protein into your meals without even trying. But we're just getting warmed up, because the real power of beans goes far beyond protein. They're one of the easiest, most affordable ways to add high-quality protein into your daily life, without stress, without confusion. Black beans and kidney beans are both excellent sources, tying for third place with around 15 grams of protein per cooked cup. But if I had to give one the edge, I'd choose black beans. Why? Because those dark, rich colors aren't just beautiful, they're bursting with compounds called anthocyanins. These natural antioxidants have been shown to calm inflammation in muscle tissue and help your body recover faster, especially as you age. And here's the bonus. Black beans freeze and reheat incredibly well, making them perfect for batch cooking. You can prepare a big pot on Sunday and have meals ready for the week. Now let's talk about a fan favorite, chickpeas. They might come in slightly lower with about 14.5 grams of protein per cup, but what they lack in protein, they make up for in versatility. Chickpeas are like the shapeshifters of the plant protein world. You can roast them for a crispy, high-protein snack, blend them into smooth, creamy hummus, toss them into salads, stews, or soups. Their mild flavor and firm texture make them the perfect starter bean for anyone new to plant-based eating. They're easy, delicious, and endlessly adaptable. And don't forget about split peas. These humble little legumes pack over 16 grams of protein per cooked cup, and they cook fast, with no soaking required. They naturally break down into a rich, creamy texture, which makes them ideal for warm, comforting soups. For older adults struggling with appetite or chewing difficulties, split pea soup can be a game changer. It delivers serious protein in a gentle, satisfying form that's easy to eat and digest. But let me take a moment to reveal something that may completely change the way you think about food and finances. The cost of high-quality protein doesn't have to drain your wallet. Beans cost about 1/3 as much as animal proteins while offering comparable muscle-building power. That's right, nutrition doesn't have to be expensive. In fact, it can be one of the smartest financial choices you make. A single pound of dried beans, just $1 to $2, makes 12 to 13 generous servings. Now compare that to the cost of chicken breast. To get the same amount of protein from meat would cost you $15 to $20 across the same number of meals. Over the course of a month, that adds up to savings that can stretch into the hundreds. For people living on fixed incomes, this isn't just helpful, it's empowering. But it's not just about saving money. The health benefits of beans go deeper than protein. Unlike many animal products, which can raise inflammation markers in the body, beans lower them. One marker in particular, called C-reactive protein, is directly tied to muscle breakdown and aging. Scientists even have a name for it, inflammaging, and it's one of the leading causes of muscle loss in older adults. Every single serving of beans helps fight that inflammation while nourishing your muscles at the same time. It's like giving your body a daily anti-aging boost. The heart health benefits are just as powerful. While diets high in red and processed meats are linked to increased risk of cardiovascular disease, research shows that eating just one serving of beans per day can cut your risk by 10%. That's not a small number. It's life-changing. For older adults managing multiple health issues like high blood pressure, diabetes, or high cholesterol, beans are a single solution that supports everything at once: muscle strength, blood sugar balance, heart function, and cholesterol control. And if all that weren't enough, let's talk about the planet. Growing beans takes 5 times less water and energy than raising animals for meat. For those who care about the future of our children, our communities, and our Earth, this is an incredible way to make a difference. It's rare that one food can help your body, your budget, and the environment, but beans do all three. Now, I hear the same concern from people all the time. I love beans, but they mess with my digestion. And that's fair. But what if I told you that science has already figured out exactly how to fix that, can easily boost its absorption with one simple trick? Eat your beans with a source of vitamin C. That's right, just adding a squeeze of lemon, a few slices of bell pepper, or a handful of fresh tomatoes can dramatically improve how your body takes in plant-based iron. And this matters more than you might think. Iron plays a key role in oxygen delivery throughout the body, especially to your muscles. Without enough of it, even small tasks can leave you feeling breathless, weak, or dizzy. For older adults, that can mean the difference between staying active and becoming fatigued too quickly to move. But let's go back to something truly powerful: digestion. For many people, the fear of gas or bloating is enough to keep them from enjoying the benefits of beans. But with a few smart steps, you can turn beans into a smooth, gut-friendly food that your body will welcome. Pressure cooking is hands down the most effective method to improve bean digestibility. It breaks down those tough, gas-causing compounds while keeping all the amino acids intact. And guess what? It's also lightning fast. Depending on the type of bean, a good pressure cooker can turn dried legumes into soft, protein-rich powerhouses in just 10 to 40 minutes. Even before cooking, soaking your beans overnight can change everything. Add just a quarter teaspoon of baking soda per pound of beans to the water and let them sit. This reduces gas-producing compounds by up to 90%. The next morning, rinse them thoroughly and start fresh with clean water. This single step removes the culprits behind most digestive discomfort. And if you forget to soak, don't panic. There's a quick fix: bring the beans to a boil for just a couple of minutes. Turn off the heat and let them rest for an hour. Then drain, rinse, and cook. It's that easy. But there's even more wisdom hidden in the traditions of cultures that have relied on beans for generations. They knew something we're just now confirming with science: digestion can be helped by the right spices. Adding cumin, fresh ginger, or a pinch of asafoetida, also called hing, to your pot helps break down difficult sugars. Even a single bay leaf or a small piece of kombu seaweed added during cooking can make a huge difference. These natural helpers have enzymes that work like magic for your gut. The real secret, though, is this: start slow. Begin with just 2 to 4 tablespoons of well-cooked beans per day. Increase gradually over the next few weeks. Your gut will adapt. In fact, your microbiome, the community of bacteria in your intestines, starts to shift in just 2 to 3 weeks. And by week 8, most people report that gas and bloating are completely gone. It's like teaching your body a new language. And once it learns, the benefits are enormous. Start with lentils, mung beans, or split peas. These are the gentlest on digestion and make a perfect starting point. But once you adjust, the whole bean family is yours to enjoy. And remember, beans are so much more than just a protein source. Their fiber fuels good gut bacteria. Their magnesium supports muscle contraction and protein synthesis. Their antioxidants fight cellular damage. And their iron and B vitamins boost energy and recovery. Modern science has now uncovered something incredible: a direct link between gut health and muscle mass. It's called the gut-muscle axis. Your intestinal health doesn't just affect digestion, it actually influences your body's ability to build and preserve muscle. That means every time you feed your gut the right fuel, like the fiber and prebiotics in beans, you're also supporting your strength, balance, and mobility. And here's a final thought that might just surprise you. Beans like adzuki beans, black beans, and red kidney beans are loaded with antioxidants that don't just neutralize free radicals. They activate powerful pathways in your cells that protect and repair the mitochondria, the tiny engines inside your muscle fibers. Mitochondria naturally decline with age, and when they do, muscle weakness and fatigue creep in. But by eating more antioxidant-rich beans, you're actively defending your energy and power at the cellular level. Now that you understand how beans support digestion, strength, and recovery, it's time to look at what to pair them with to create the ultimate muscle-building meals: nutrition. In fact, low-sodium canned beans are a gift for anyone who struggles with cooking time, arthritis, or fatigue. They're ready to eat in minutes, and as long as you rinse them thoroughly under cold water, you can remove up to 40% of the excess sodium without losing any of their valuable nutrients. These beans still pack the same plant-powered protein, fiber, and minerals your body needs, and they're perfect for quick lunches or emergency dinners. Now let's circle back to something that might completely shift the way you approach every meal: timing and distribution. According to Dr. Stuart Phillips, a renowned sports nutrition expert who has dedicated decades to studying protein and aging, the key isn't just getting enough protein, it's getting it at the right times. He recommends spreading your protein intake evenly throughout the day. That means instead of eating one giant bean-filled dinner, you aim for roughly 30 grams of protein at each meal. For someone weighing 165 pounds, that's about 0.4 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per meal. This steady flow of amino acids helps your muscles rebuild, recover, and grow far more efficiently than one big meal ever could. So what does this look like in real life? Breakfast could be a lentil scramble or a hearty chickpea toast. Lunch might include a warm grain bowl with black beans, quinoa, and roasted veggies. And dinner? Maybe a cozy bowl of split pea soup or a 3-bean chili. Spread out like this, you're not only meeting your protein needs, you're maximizing every single gram. Now here's a beautifully simple tool dietitians often recommend, especially for older adults who want to strengthen their muscles without counting every calorie: the plate method. It works like this: 1/4 of your plate should be beans or other legumes. 1/4 should be a whole grain like brown rice or millet, and the remaining half should be colorful vegetables. Not only does this combination provide complete proteins, it also gives you a powerful mix of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, all of which work together to keep your body strong, flexible, and energized. And there's even more good news. Exercise physiologists have discovered that eating a bean-based meal 2 to 3 hours before strength training provides long-lasting energy for your muscles. And when you eat again within 2 hours after exercise, you trigger what scientists call muscle protein synthesis, your body's process of rebuilding and strengthening tissue. In fact, combining resistance training with plant protein creates what researchers now call synergistic effects. That means the two together are more powerful than either one alone. So how much protein should you really be aiming for? The gold standard for older adults is 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight per day. If you're 70 kilograms, about 154 pounds, that means around 84 to 112 grams per day, split into 3 or 4 meals. And don't worry, you don't have to memorize anything. Just remember this: 25 to 35 grams per meal, ideally from mixed plant sources throughout the day. And let's talk about cooking methods, because this is where things can either feel easy or overwhelming. Pressure cooking is the single best method for older adults. It makes beans incredibly soft, chewable, and easy to digest, all in a fraction of the time. If you've never used one, modern electric pressure cookers are totally beginner-friendly. Most have simple settings for different types of beans. Just add water, press a button, and walk away. No watching, no stirring, no stress. And here's a tip that will change your weekly meal prep forever: batch cooking. Make 2 to 3 pounds of mixed beans once a week, portion them into small containers, and freeze them. Think of it as building your own instant protein bank. These frozen beans last up to 6 months and can be dropped straight into soups, grain bowls, stir-fries, or salads. No thawing required. This one simple strategy removes the biggest barrier most people have with beans: lack of time or energy. But if you want to take things to the next level, try sprouting. It's easier than it sounds, and the benefits are enormous. Soak your beans overnight, drain them, and rinse them twice a day. Within 2 to 5 days, you'll see tiny white tails begin to appear. That's your sprout. What's happening inside is magic. Protein content increases by up to 38%, digestibility improves by over 20%, and cooking time is cut in half. Sprouted mung beans and lentils are especially powerful for muscle support and gut health. And best of all, they cause virtually no digestive issues. For anyone with limited mobility or time, don't hesitate to keep canned beans on hand. They offer convenience without giving up nutritional value. Just rinse and go. The key is to build a lifestyle that supports your strength without feeling like a chore. But there's still one big question to answer. Can beans really help you feel younger, stronger, and more independent as you age? The answer is coming in the next section. And it might surprise you, science are often blown way out of proportion, especially when it comes to beans. Yes, plant proteins are digested a bit differently, but the difference becomes almost meaningless when you prepare them properly and eat enough total protein throughout the day. In fact, the digestive system of older adults can often benefit from the slower, more steady absorption that beans offer. Instead of spiking your system with fast-digesting protein like some animal sources do, beans give your body time to gradually absorb nutrients, making it easier on your organs and better for sustained energy and muscle repair. Now about that aquafaba, that thick starchy liquid inside canned beans that most people throw down the sink without thinking. It's actually a treasure trove of plant-based proteins and soluble fiber. You can use it to naturally thicken soups and stews, whip it into vegan mayo or desserts, or even stir it into sauces to add both creaminess and nutrition. What used to be discarded is now becoming a secret weapon in smart kitchens everywhere. And while it's true that canned beans may have slightly fewer nutrients than freshly cooked ones, they're still incredibly powerful. Especially when you choose low-sodium varieties, rinse them thoroughly, and pair them with whole grains and vegetables. Convenience should never come at the cost of health, and in this case, it doesn't have to. Let me take you back to Beverly Kelly's story, because it's not just inspiring, it's proof. At 80 years old, Beverly wasn't trying to fix a major health issue. She simply decided she wanted to feel better. So she embraced a plant-rich diet full of beans, lentils, and wholesome meals. The results? A 14-pound reduction in stubborn belly fat, significantly higher energy levels, and better sleep. I stay active until late evening now, she says, and I need less sleep than I used to. Her transformation didn't come from medication or extreme diets. It came from real food and a willingness to believe that change is possible at any age. And Beverly's not alone. The Nurses' Health Study, one of the largest and most respected research projects on aging and wellness, tracked over 85,000 women over 60. What they discovered was groundbreaking. Those who ate more plant protein had lower risks of frailty, while those relying heavily on animal protein faced higher risks. Plant protein didn't just help them survive, it helped them thrive. These women maintained mobility, independence, and strength for much longer. We've seen this play out in community programs too, like the Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program. When older adults are given vouchers specifically for plant-based foods like beans and produce, they don't just eat better, they get stronger. Participants saw measurable gains in muscle mass, weight balance, and energy levels. These aren't isolated stories. They're part of a growing movement that's transforming what aging can look like. And if you're still skeptical, just look at senior athletes. From competitive runners to power lifters in their 70s and 80s, more and more of them are switching to plant-based diets. They're recovering faster, performing longer, and proving that muscle doesn't have to disappear with age, not when you fuel it with the right foods. These incredible individuals are shattering outdated myths about protein and rewriting what's possible after 60. Let's talk truth. The myth that plant protein is incomplete or not good enough is one of the biggest lies ever told in nutrition. Every plant on Earth contains all 20 amino acids, including the 9 essential ones. The myth started over a century ago, from studies on rats, not humans. Yet somehow, it stuck around and misled generations. But now, thanks to modern science, we know better. The American Heart Association and other leading health organizations confirm it. As long as you eat a variety of plant foods across the day, beans, lentils, rice, nuts, seeds, your body gets everything it needs to build and maintain muscle. So don't let anyone tell you it's too late. Don't let anyone convince you that only meat can keep you strong. That narrative is outdated and frankly dangerous. Because the truth is plant protein, especially from beans, is not only enough, it may be better. Studies across the globe are showing it again and again. Those who eat the most plant protein age with more power, more mobility, and more life in their years. And now that you've seen the science, the stories, and the strategy, it's time to bring it all together. What does a real muscle-fueling day look like for someone over 60? And how can you start right now, even if you've never cooked a bean before? Stay with me, because in the next part, we're going to build your personal blueprint for strength, energy, and unstoppable aging. Most people think building muscle after 60 is nearly impossible, especially without expensive supplements or heavy meat-based diets. But what if the answer to staying strong and independent as we age is hiding in something as humble and affordable as a can of beans? Let's unravel the surprising truth. When you open a can of beans, your first instinct might be to drain that thick liquid down the sink. But wait, don't. That gooey stuff is called aquafaba, and it's packed with valuable proteins. It can naturally thicken soups and stews while giving your meals an unexpected nutritional boost. Canned beans may be slightly lower in some nutrients compared to freshly cooked ones, but they still deliver powerful muscle-building benefits, and they're convenient, cheap, and ready to go. Take Beverly Kelly, for example. At age 80, she wasn't struggling with illness or desperately trying to reverse health issues. She simply wanted to feel better. So she made a change. She embraced a plant-based diet rich in beans and legumes. Within just a few months, she lost 14 pounds of stubborn belly fat and had more energy than she'd felt in years. She said, "I stay active until late evening now and need less sleep." Beverly's transformation shows us that it's never too late to unlock a better version of ourselves. And Beverly isn't alone. The renowned Nurses' Health Study followed over 85,000 women aged 60 and up for years. The findings? Those who ate more plant protein were significantly less likely to become frail. In contrast, a higher intake of animal protein correlated with faster decline. Women who prioritized plant-based meals kept their strength, mobility, and independence far longer. It's not just individual stories, it's happening at the community level too. Programs like the Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program are giving older adults vouchers for fresh produce and beans. The results? Measurable improvements in muscle mass and lower obesity rates. When people have access to affordable plant-based proteins, their health naturally improves. And what about athletic seniors? They're shattering every myth. Many are switching to plant-based diets and reporting faster recovery, more stamina, and longer endurance. Yes, even into their 80s and 90s. These senior athletes prove that we've been underestimating the power of beans and legumes for far too long. Now let's talk about the biggest myth keeping people from discovering the magic of plant protein. The idea that plant proteins are incomplete. This belief is outdated and flat out wrong. Every plant on Earth contains all 20 amino acids. Yes, all of them. That old myth comes from a rat study done back in 1914. Over a century ago. It's been completely debunked. The American Heart Association confirms that plant proteins can fully meet our body's needs, especially when we eat a variety of foods throughout the day. Another false belief, that older adults must rely mostly on animal protein. Not true. In fact, several large studies show the opposite. Older adults who consume more plant protein retain more muscle mass and stay stronger longer. The Spanish Predim study, which tracked nearly 3,000 older adults, found that vegetable protein was the strongest predictor of good physical function. Some people still worry about digestibility. Yes, animal proteins digest a bit more efficiently, 95 to 99% compared to 70 to 90% for raw plant proteins. But that gap shrinks drastically with proper cooking. And once your overall protein intake is adequate, that small difference becomes irrelevant. Plus, beans are so affordable that getting enough protein is actually easier. You don't need pricey powders. You need real food. Beans are a complete package. They're not just protein. They come with anti-inflammatory compounds, fiber, iron, magnesium, and other nutrients that support overall health, not just muscles. Studies show that people who eat whole plant foods often get better results than those relying on isolated supplements. That's likely because nature designed these foods to work in harmony. So where do you begin? Start in your kitchen. Buy dried beans in bulk. They're cheap, shelf-stable for years, and super versatile. Red lentils cook fast for weeknight meals. Black beans are great for hearty stews or tacos. Chickpeas work beautifully in everything from salads to snacks. Invest in a pressure cooker if you can. It saves time and boosts digestibility. Go slow at first. In week 1, add just a quarter cup of soft, well-cooked lentils to your soup or lunch. In week 2, try half a cup of black beans at dinner. By week 3, experiment with breakfast. Maybe mash white beans on toast, or add black beans to scrambled eggs. This slow and steady approach lets your digestive system adjust comfortably. Soon, meal planning becomes easy and enjoyable. Cook 2 or 3 types of beans on Sunday and portion them into ice cube trays or small containers. Mix up the flavors: rosemary and garlic white beans, cumin and lime black beans, turmeric spiced lentils. It keeps meals exciting and ensures you get a variety of nutrients. For the best muscle results, aim for 1.2 to 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. If you weigh 154 pounds, about 70 kilograms, that means you need 84 to 112 grams of protein daily. Let beans give you 30 to 50 grams across breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Combine them with whole grains to form complete proteins and add vitamin C-rich foods like bell peppers or tomatoes to enhance iron absorption. If you enjoy dairy or eggs, adding a little can boost leucine, an amino acid important for muscle building. Don't forget to drink plenty of water, at least 8 glasses a day, especially as you increase your fiber intake. And even light resistance exercises like bodyweight squats or resistance band workouts can dramatically boost the effects of a plant-based, protein-rich diet. So here's what I want you to remember. The evidence is crystal clear. Beans can help you build and maintain muscle, especially after 60. They're affordable, powerful, and backed by science. They nourish your body in ways animal proteins can't, with heart-healthy fiber and anti-aging minerals included in every bite. You don't need expensive plans or powders, just thoughtful, consistent meals built around this humble food. The real question isn't whether beans can build muscle, it's whether you're ready to let them. Ready to give your body the chance it deserves. Because your strength, energy, and independence are not behind you. They're right ahead, waiting for you at the bottom of a bowl of beans.